In the last 3 years, I've watched this university that I love get torn in half. I've watched people I respected and admired, who I trusted to run the university, cower in the corner while the university was brought to its knees. I've watched this board allow the name and legacy of Joe Paterno to be trampled based on a fabricated report and yellow journalism. I've watched while the leadership of the board made one bad decision after another subsequent to November 2011. I've watched while the leadership of the board allowed Louis Freeh to run roughshod over my university and to cast unfair, inaccurate, and damning allegations against everyone associated with Penn State. I've watched while this board allowed a flawed, incomplete, and since wholly discredited report to define our university. I've watched this board become embroiled in infighting, marginalization of the alumni, trustees, and others, refusal to acknowledge the errors that it has made, and watched it ignore the overwhelming will of our alumni. And all the while, this board has lost sight of why you sit here. We sit here to educate students at our university. Instead, we spend our time fighting about the operations of the university. We need to get back to the core purpose for which we exist. We need to get back to being an elite university without being elitist, and we need to get back to the Penn State we all know and love. And that starts today. This afternoon, this board will self-appoint several new trustees. I implore you to move away from the backroom clandestine processes of the past. Do not appoint trustees because of patronage, or because of friendships, or because they're a yes person. Do not appoint trustees who appear only for cocktail parties and football games. Do not appoint trustees who have been rejected by the alumni, and do not appoint trustees whose sole purpose is the continued marginalization of the alumni trustees. Do not appoint trustees who are afraid to stand up for what is right. Because if you do, it will only deepen the divide that exists. We are at a crossroads, and this university needs to fully emerge from our darkest hour, and we need to heal. You cannot do this unless this board formally and loudly rejects the Freeh report for the fraud that it is, and it cannot do this unless this board works together, collectively, and every member has a voice. To move forward, we must first acknowledge, accept, and remedy the failures of the past. And if we can't do that, then every single person in this room should resign today. Do not allow egos and anger to cloud good judgment. Remember your mission and the very purpose of this board. Remember that a house divided against itself cannot stand. Remember who we are, and remember the words success with honor and